I give you the best running back stable in all of fantasy football. All draft strategies I've deployed this year, the only one that gives me the most comfort, where I sleep like a baby every single night, is when I own both of the Rams running backs, Kyren and Corum. And I own all three of the Miami Dolphin running backs, Achane, Wright, and Mostert. You might be saying, Smitty, this is absolute lunacy. This is a highway to disaster, but it's not. You don't have to touch your first round pick. You don't have to touch your fourth or fifth, or in some cases even later. But let's really see how difficult this will be. Let's take a look at the sacrifice. What ADP Corum, Wright, and Mostert are going in, and is it worth it? Do we kick one of them loose? Do we just go with 4 players, or is grabbing the 5 truly worth it? Let's break it down. Let's see if this draft strategy is crazy or genius. The Fantasy Football Show Mad Scientist Edition, Fantasy Football Experimentation Edition. Maybe this needs to be a regular series. Begins right now. Okay, so again, this might not work in your mom and pop league or your grandma league or whatever. It really does depend on where you're drafting. In best ball, it will work. In an ESPN league or a 10-man draft, you're going to be able to pull this off. But there are some shark leagues out there that are non-best ball where Kyren and HM both go in round number 2. I can't help you with every single format you're in. But in Underdog Fantasy, promo code Smitty, where you get 50% match on your first deposit using code Smitty or the link in the description, make sure you try this. You can easily get Kyren in round 3 and Achane in round 2. So we're going to put a third round ADP next to Kyren. We're going to put a second round ADP next to Achane. So we know we've already consumed our second and third round pick. So let's start keeping track of this and see what picks we're consuming. So we've got our second rounder consumed, our third rounder consumed. Now let's look up the ADP of Corum and find out where exactly we need to draft Corum in order to make this strategy start popping off. Blake Corum is going in the 10th round at 116 roughly overall. So that means we'll go back to our board. I got to write out more rounds to make sure we're accounting for everything. So let's go ahead and do that. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay. So we've got Blake Corum going back. Blake Corum is round 10. So a second, a third, and a 10th is being consumed so far. That is not a big deal. I'm not worried about that at all. 10th rounder, no big deal. Question is, where's Mostert going? Mostert is going, according to Underdog Fantasy promo code Smitty, Mostert is going in round number 9 roughly. He goes around 97 to 100. I've seen him go as early as like 91, 92. So this could be not a problem, but part of where this becomes, I don't want to say not doable. Just, you're maybe missing a certain player that just might feel a little bit more advantageous, but not something that's going to make me run from this. So 9th rounder, even if we said 8th rounder, which we could, we're going to say 9th rounder is Mostert. Now, Jalen Wright is going to be past this point. So we're talking about, according to ADP data, he's going Jalen Wright at number in the 13th round. So 153. So Corum and Wright don't even cost single digit round picks. We're talking about round 10 and round 13. So I'm gonna write round 13 down here. So round 13. So round 2, 3 for Kyren and Achane, and then the backups costing round 9, 10, and 13. And in a worst case scenario, instead of 9, it would be 8. That's unbelievable. That doesn't affect you at all. I know the initial instinct for people is to say, Smitty, you can't consume all of these running backs and put yourself in a position where you don't have the ability to draft other players. We're talking about the 10th, the 13th, and the 9th round, maybe the 8th round in the worst of scenarios for this situation. That means if we go back to our board, that means we're able to draft Jamar Chase, okay? Let's even write this in. Now we can play around with the idea of getting, let's say, a Jamar Chase in round number 1, okay? Because we're going running back in round 2 and 3. So let's just go Jamar Chase in round 1. Let's go with Trey McBride in round number 5. I mean, this is not hampering us at all. It's just giving us the best running back stable in known to man. The safest and best running back stable. The most upside and the safest running back stable in fantasy football. Okay, so I'm going to make McBride a little smaller so I can fit a 7th rounder in there. I got a 7th and 8th rounder available, a 6th rounder, a 4th rounder. Let's throw a QB in this round 4 draft slot. We got McBride there. Let's find Jalen Hurts. Where's Jalen Hurts when we need him? Jalen, we've got an assignment for you. The assignment is to join and assemble in a super team. If you're interested, Jalen. Let's see. Jalen says, I'm available. If you need me, I'm available to play for this team. Let's throw him right there. Let's go into the round 6 territory and find another player that is fitting for this type of team. I mean, you could go... We could go Christian Watson if we wanted for a wide receiver. Another receiver that comes to mind, Jaden Reed. We could go Calvin Ridley. We could go Alvin Kamara if we wanted, but let's just go wide receiver. So let me go find myself Ridley. Let's call it Jaden Reed. We'll put Jaden Reed here at 6. We could even get crazy and go Christian Watson at 7. I don't even think I need to prove this anymore. You got in round 8, you've got Jaylen Warren, you got Ramondre Stevenson, you've got Trey Benson. We'll put Trey Benson over in the corner here. Trey Benson here. You got Christian Watson here. You could go another quarterback. This is an unbelievable team. To have Jamar Chase, McBride, Jalen Hurts, and still have the Achane combo of running backs, the Kyron with Corum combo. I haven't even filled the 7th rounder. In fact, let's just throw Benson here and Mostert in 8 to be safe and say that round 9 is, I don't know, who's going in round 9. Round 9 could be a Dak Prescott, a Joe Burrow. I see in round 9. A Brock Bowers could go there. Tony Pollard, Brian Robinson Jr., Ramondre Stevenson. I mean, that could be the 9th round player. This is unbelievable, this strategy. And I feel like no one's talking about it. No one's talking about it but us. And we're going to smash the hell out of all of our league mates using this strategy. What are we going to call this strategy? I think moving forward, we'll call it the super team. The super team is building a team off of this running back stable, and the corresponding pieces could be whatever the hell you want. I give you the super team. Buckle up, Buttercup. Now go win. Also, real quickly, get on over to the Patreon. $10 a month gets you access to 10 live chats. Basically, the live stream chat that you see every single day that you've come to love, and all the people you've become accustomed to talking to. Generous, helpful people, positive environment. All those same people are just over on the Patreon. Think of it like an extended version of the live chat on the YouTube channel. That's what the Patreon is. On top of having exclusive content, on top of the first 200 people, limited time, first 200 people to sign up, get into the 242-man league. I'll see you all later. Click that link in the description for the Patreon, or just go to patreon.com/thefantasyfootballshow. Now get out of here.
From the fantasyfootballshow.com studios, it's the Fantasy Football Show.